Vice Admiral Karambir Singh, Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Eastern Naval Command, Vice Admiral retired officers from the Defence Services, from the State Police and the Indian Police Service, the Civil Administration, Commanding Officer, officers and crews of ICGS Veera, and above all, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to each one of you present here today on this very historic and auspicious occasion. It gives me immense pleasure to be a part of this solemn occasion on the commissioning ceremony of the Indian Coast Guard ship Veera. Before I commence, I would first like to thank the Director General, Indian Coast Guard, Sri Rajendra Singh, for giving me this maiden opportunity to witness the prowess of the Indian Coast Guard and capability of the L&T Indigenous Shipbuilding. Ladies and gentlemen, operations in modern times have witnessed a time and space collapse. The dynamics of modern conflict require synergized joint operation in all domains and dimensions, that is the land, sea and air. Such scenarios also warrant quick and smooth transition from one operational dimension to another for effectively deterring the adversaries. Inland waters being the domain of land forces and the sea being domain of the maritime forces, interoperability and synergy between each dimension is paramount for securing all ends in the overall matrix of our national security. Indian Coast Guard is the youngest of the armed services under the Ministry of Defence and has been entrusted with both military as well as non-military roles and tasks. I am sanguine that under the present helm of the Director General, Coast Guard has effectively amalgamated itself with other dimensional forces and is poised to play a very active role in the defence of our nation. Indian Coast Guard has showcased the flexibility and resilience in quickly adapting to the demanding situation and impending challenges that lie ahead. I can say this with conviction because of the stellar role played by the Indian Coast Guard over the years as part of the Joint Command of the Andaman and Nicobar and during defence of the Gujarat exercise. As regard to specific areas of cooperation and synergy between the Indian Army and the Indian Coast Guard, the two services are pursuing the first ever joint case for the acquisition of 12 air-cushioned vehicles for shallow water operations. Coast Guard, being the experienced agency in such operations, has played the lead role and the lead agency in the project and will also provide familiarization and maintenance training to the Indian Army. Such an avenue is sure to enhance the synergy and interoperability between our two services. It is rightly said that only those who train together can eventually fight together. I must say that challenges and complexities of maritime security are in no way less than that of internal security, and without ensuring a maritime security, there cannot be framework for foolproof internal and national security. Therefore, Coast Guard, alongside the Indian Navy, also has the onerous responsibility of ensuring that the waters of the Indian coastline remain safe, towards which Coast Guard diligently and constantly maintains effective vigil at sea at all times. It maintains an all-round presence in the territorial waters of India and also undertakes patrol in the exclusive economic zone spread over 2 million square kilometers. Given its standing as the fourth largest coast guard in the world, The ICG has performed very credibly in protecting our maritime zones and also in preventing the economic plunder of our maritime wealth. The combined effort of Coast Guard, Indian Navy, along with other stakeholders, have bolstered the maritime and coastal security apparatus of our nation. The Indian Navy and the Indian Coast Guard are in continuous process of updating and revalidating the joint standard operating procedures through exercises. Further, projects like chain of static sensors across the Indian coastline are in various stages of implementation and would provide a 24/7 gap-free surveillance of our vast coastline. Apart from security challenges, Indian Coast Guard has also very significantly contributed in the aid to civil authorities during calamities like the cyclone Oki and the recent Kerala floods. Despite adverse circumstances, Indian Coast Guard saved over 558 lives in Oki and 35221 lives were moved to safety during the Kerala floods. The Coast Guard's exemplary leadership and stellar role in protecting the citizen in times of adversity is noteworthy, true to its motto, Vayam Rakshama, meaning we protect. Let me also take this opportunity to compliment the Coast Guard for going a step beyond the charter and moving forward from community interaction to community integration with the fisherfolk. This noble initiative has bolstered the faith of fishing community and encouraged them to act as the eyes and ears of our security forces out at sea. Talking about the Indian Coast Guard ship Veera, which is being commissioned today, it is the third L&T built offshore patrol vessel of this project. The ship is equipped with advanced systems and will be joining the eastern region of the Coast Guard fleet under the operational control of the Coast Guard Commander East. I am especially proud because this ship is largely indigenously built under the Make in India and Skill India programs of our government. Such indigenization is a welcome step towards nation building and economic growth and opens more employment vistas for our countrymen. It also gives me immense pleasure to convey to the August gathering that various systems like fin stabilizers, integrated platform management system and helo traversing system has been indigenously designed and manufactured by the L&T Group. I congratulate the CEO and MD of L&T Shipbuilding for this indigenous marvel. As the Coast Guard gears up to meet future challenges, I am certain that Indian Coast Guard ship Veera will play a key role in the fulfillment of its national mandate. I sincerely compliment the Director General Indian Coast Guard for adding one more feather in his cap and wish the commanding officer and men of Indian Coast Guard ship Veera the very best in all their future endeavors. I am sure that the ship and her crew will perform their duty to the nation with pride and elan, protecting the maritime interests of our country at all times. At the end, I wish Team Coast Guard to earn tremendous accolades from all the quarters. I also wish them the very best in all their future endeavors in the service of our great nation. Thank you. Jai Hind. Dhanyavad.
Thank you. Warming words.
Now request Shri J.D. Patil to present a memento to Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief, ICGS Veer. General, Indian Coast Guard.
Close తీసుకుంటున్నాను full white తీసుకో.
A big round of applause for ICGS Veer. The chief guest will now be proceeding for a walk around of ICGS Veer. On behalf of the Indian Coast Guard, we one and all for your presence on this fine morning. Ladies and gentlemen, your refreshments. Thank you. Jai Hind, Vayam Rakshama.